Vincent van Gogh was born in the Netherlands in 1853. He was a man with many ideas and a great love for art. But, when he was young, he did not know he would become a famous painter. He had many jobs before he started painting. One of his first jobs was as an art dealer, but he did not like this job. He also worked as a teacher and a preacher, but none of these jobs made him happy. Van Gogh was always looking for something that would give him joy, something he could be passionate about. One day, he decided to focus on painting. He began drawing and painting in his free time. At first, his paintings were not very good, but he did not stop trying. He was very determined to become a good artist. He didn't go to an art school like many famous painters. Instead, he taught himself how to paint by studying other artists and learning new techniques. He spent hours practicing, learning how to use colors and shapes to express himself. Although it was hard at first, he slowly became better. Van Gogh moved to Paris in 1886. In Paris, he met other artists who liked to paint in a new way. They were called Impressionists. These artists used bright colors and painted pictures of nature. They painted landscapes, flowers, and people. Van Gogh learned a lot from these artists and began to use bright colors in his own work. The Impressionists showed Van Gogh that it was not only about making a perfect picture, but also about capturing feelings and emotions. He was inspired by their use of light and color, and he started to experiment with his own style. Van Gogh spent a lot of time painting flowers. One of his most famous paintings is called Sunflowers. He painted sunflowers many times. He loved how the yellow color of the flowers made him feel happy. The flowers were bright and full of life, and he felt that they reflected his own feelings. He believed that colors were very important in art. He wanted to use colors to show how he felt inside. When he painted sunflowers, he was not just showing a flower, he was showing joy, warmth, and life. Even though he painted many beautiful pictures, Van Gogh did not sell many of his paintings during his life. Most people did not understand his art. Many thought his paintings were too strange or too different from what they were used to seeing. But Van Gogh did not give up. He kept painting every day. He painted many pictures of things he loved, like flowers, trees, and stars. He didn't care about what other people thought of his paintings. He painted because it made him feel alive. One of his most famous paintings is The Starry Night. In this painting, he showed the night sky with swirling stars. The colors of the sky were bright and strong, and the picture made people feel as if they were part of the night. The painting is full of energy and movement, as if the stars were dancing in the sky. Van Gogh painted the sky in a way that no one had ever seen before. It was a world full of wonder, light, and emotion. Van Gogh also painted many pictures of people. He painted self-portraits and pictures of his friends. One of the most famous portraits he painted was of a man named Paul Gauguin. Paul was another artist who stayed with Van Gogh for a short time. They did not always get along, but Van Gogh learned a lot from him. Paul was a very different kind of artist, but their time together helped Van Gogh learn new ideas about art. During this time, Van Gogh also painted some of his most famous self-portraits. In these paintings, he showed not just his face, but his inner feelings. His eyes in the self-portraits looked deep and thoughtful, as if he was searching for something beyond the world around him. During his life, Van Gogh moved to many different places. He lived in the city, but he also lived in the country. In the country, he painted the landscape and the things he saw around him. He loved the countryside, where he could be close to nature. He found peace and beauty in the fields, trees, and sky. He often painted the simple things in life, like wheat fields or cypress trees. The beauty he saw in nature inspired him to create some of his most powerful paintings. He painted many pictures of fields, trees, and the sky. In some of his paintings, the trees seemed to reach up to the sky, as if they were reaching for something more. Even though Van Gogh loved art and worked very hard, he was often sad. He had times when he felt alone and confused. He did not have many friends. Sometimes he felt that the people around him did not understand him or his art. He struggled with his mental health, and this made it even harder for him to connect with others. He sometimes felt misunderstood, and this sadness was something he couldn't escape. But he never stopped painting. He painted all the time, even when he was feeling sad or sick. Art was his way of expressing his feelings, and it helped him cope with the difficult times. He found peace in his paintings, even if he didn't always find peace in life. In 1890, Van Gogh moved to a small town in France called Auvers-sur-Oise. He spent the last few months of his life there. He painted many pictures in the fields and around the town. He loved the peaceful countryside and continued to paint the things he saw every day. One of his last paintings was of a wheat field. The sky in this painting is full of yellow and blue, and the wheat is waving in the wind. It is a picture that shows both beauty and sadness. The bright colors show the beauty of the world, but the way the wheat bends and the sky looks stormy also speaks of Van Gogh's own inner struggle. Van Gogh died in July 1890. He was only 37 years old. Even though his life was short, he made a big impact on the world of art. Today, many people around the world love his paintings. His use of color and his feelings in his paintings inspired many other artists. His work showed that art is not just about making something beautiful, but about expressing what is inside. Van Gogh may not have been famous during his life, but today he is known as one of the greatest painters of all time. His legacy lives on in the millions of people who admire his work. His story teaches us that it is important to follow our dreams, even if others do not understand us. Van Gogh never stopped painting, even when life was hard. He believed in the power of art and used it to express his feelings. His work is a reminder that art can help us understand the world around us and our own emotions. Van Gogh's paintings continue to speak to people all over the world. They remind us that even in the most difficult times, there is beauty, and that beauty can be found in the simplest things. Through his art, Van Gogh showed that even a troubled soul can create something truly remarkable.